What's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a video that's been highly requested, my favorite surf fishing spots. I don't think I've done a video like that. But anyways, this is gonna be the first spot here, and you know you're at the right spot when you see beautiful women throwing a casting net. Out there throwing a casting net. But anyways, this is called, it's basically on Mustang Island. You go in the entrance like you're going to Packery Channel, and then you just turn left, come straight up the beach, and you will see down here, at the end down here, there'll be some pilings where you can't go any further, and the entrance is down here. So it says it's mile marker or beach marker 181. But anyways, this is a really good spot in September, October, November, December, January, February, when the pompano are running. Out there you could see some rigs. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're small little rigs, so you know you're in the right spot if you see the rigs directly in front of you. And then there'll be some pylons right there, so you're about 2 blocks from the pylons where you can't go any further. This spot here, I've caught so many pompano in this area, a lot of small pompano, and my sister caught her biggest pompano right here. Huge whiting, some of the largest whiting I've ever caught. I've caught right here in this spot right here. So you'll know when you're in the right area because you'll see all the small rigs out there in the distance. I'm gonna show you what I've done to the Jeep so far to get it ready for the guide service that I'm starting in the middle of October. So we got the pole racks up there. We are gonna put the receiver on the front and then run the basket and a rod rack up here. Put the steps on because it was a nightmare getting up there getting the poles. You had to step in the door jams and it just wasn't working. So these are pretty good. It allows me to pretty much get up here real quick, get the poles down, and get things going. But that's what it looks like with the steps on it. But anyways, this is the very first spot. I'm gonna be doing a lot of driving today, all the way to Port Aransas to down Padre Island National Seashore to about the 15-mile marker. So spot number 1 is Newport Pass area, right on the Mustang Island until you can't go any further. Spot number 2 is going to be towards Port Aransas. Take Park Road 22 out like you're going to Padre Island National Seashore, turn left on 361. And as soon as you pass the water department on the right, you'll come to beach access 2. Fish Pass Jetties is right there. You can fish right next to Fish Pass Jetties, but usually it's pretty packed down there. So what I would suggest is go about 2 to 3 blocks away from Fish Pass and then throw your lines out here. Now, I used to catch some big redfish. My biggest trout was caught here. Pompano, whiting, lots of sharks, all kinds of things. So Fish Pass Jetties, 3 blocks from it, find a place to park. Normally you can find a place to park down here even in the summertime. Now, I forgot to mention over there at Newport Pass, when you go through those pylons, sometimes the sand is pretty deep, so you'll need a 4-wheel drive sometimes. Today you didn't, and today you didn't need a 4-wheel drive to get down to Fish Pass Jetties, but sometimes you guys will need a 4-wheel drive. So a lot of the fishing spots that you'll see me mention today, a lot of them require 4-wheel drive because this sand gets pretty deep down here going to Fish Pass Jetties sometimes. But I don't know what makes this area really good. You could even get maybe 2 blocks from the jetties and do fine as well. But you can see all the birds hanging on the water right there. Where those guys are fishing, that's a pretty good area right there. And you can see how the surf is kind of rounding right here, breaking out. It's breaking kind of a round area right here. I don't know what that's called, a point or something like that. But if I was to come out here today, I'd be fishing right here in this area right here. That's where I'd be fishing. So again, fish past jetties, 2 to 3 blocks to the east of the jetties, and you should do pretty good. Now, I'm not seeing any mullet running today or anything jumping out of the water. I haven't seen any birds or anything like that. That's why I'm not fishing today. But anyways, like I said, sometimes you'll need a 4-wheel drive. So basically, guys, why I'm creating this is for you guys that come down here on vacation. That way you can come down here and you can go to the right spot to surf fish. If you just pull up on the beach anywhere in Port Aransas, you're probably gonna have a bad day. So I'm giving you some tips and pointers here today to show you where you may have the best results. Now, you want to use all kinds of baits here. Newport Pass, mainly fish bites and shrimp and stuff like that. Here, you want to use live mullet, dead mullet, cut bait, cut whiting, fish bites, shrimp, live shrimp. I changed my mind on using live shrimp in the surf. It actually does pretty good if you're out here on a good day. Otherwise, you're just gonna be catching a bunch of hardheads. But right here, if I was to show up here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it'd be right here by these birds where they're all hanging out on the beach. That would be my area to fish right there. All right, let's head to spot number 3. Gonna be doing a lot of driving today. Like I said, fish bites works good here. Live mullet, dead mullet, cut whiting, pretty much everything works good here. Looky here, guys. Guess where we're at? Anybody guess? Make it in the comments. Man, the freaking jetties are packed today. People all the way out there. Now, that guy's got it right there. All right, guys, for the number 3 spot, I'm gonna show you is right here in Port Aransas, right next to the South Jetty. You can see all the people on the South Jetty there. But anyways, a lot of bait gets stacked up right here in this area right here. And you could throw a spoon or any kind of top water and be able to catch some pretty good reds and trout. If you can get past the ladyfish, there's usually a lot of ladyfish out here when there's a lot of bait right there. But this is the area right here. You just don't ever park down here where I'm at, park up there, because this tide will come in. And if you're out on the jetties and you got your vehicle parked here, it's gonna be in the water by the time you come back. But these guys got it right here fishing. And this guy definitely is doing the right thing, casting out. But you could use live mullet, cut mullet, whiting if you catch some whiting. Live shrimp works really nice up against the rocks. On a day like today, I'd be using a popping cork. I'd probably wade out there waist deep and throw a popping cork up next to the rocks. Maybe get some flounder and stuff like that. But there you go. There's Bob Hall Pier down there. So we're gonna head to number 4. So if you're in Port Aransas, you don't feel like going to the other spots that I'm mentioning, this is usually pretty packed right here. During the summer, spring, and even in the winter months, it's pretty packed right here in this area. But if you could find, like right here, you know, those guys are fishing here. The current's not too bad, so you can actually throw your lines right there. Well, let's head to number 4, my favorite spots that I go to when I want to surf fish. Behind me, guys, is the old Bob Hall Pier, and this is a very, very good spot. Especially when the water is like this, kind of calm. You could throw a silver spoon on the side over there, Get on that side over there and start throwing a silver spoon, wade about a waist deep. You should catch some redfish and trout and stuff like that. You can see this guy right here trying his luck. I don't know if he's using a lure or what, but you see all these shells along the beach right here? There's some current that comes in here and pushes all this up on the shore right here. So this is a very, very good spot to surf fish. You can use live mullet, live shrimp, dead shrimp, fish bites for pompano and whiting, and what else here? Well, you can use just dead shrimp. But anyways, I like throwing a silver spoon here, or a gold spoon, depending on the season. In the fall, I'll throw a gold spoon. But this is right here at the old Bob Hall Pier. This is an excellent surf fishing spot. I have more luck on this right side than I do on the left side over here. Where this guy's fishing, I don't have too much luck. You got it. It's not a big deal if you walked in front. You could probably get up underneath the pillars there, but I wouldn't advise that. Maybe throw a popping cork in the month of December when the water's a lot smoother with some live shrimp on there, and you probably get some fish right out of there. But anyways, guys, this is the old Bob Hall Pier. They're supposed to start construction on it soon. Anyways, this is the number 4 spot. So we're gonna head out to the island, the National Seashore, and there's a lot of people out here today. It's packed all the way back through there. But we're gonna run out to the National Seashore, and I wanna say something about Port Aransas too. That is probably the only spot you would ever see me fishing in Port Aransas, surf fishing. I don't really care for jetty fishing because it's just too much work, too much tackle being lost, stuff like that. So I'd prefer to surf fish. And so if I'm doing it in Port Aransas, it's always gonna be right there by the jetties. Ever since all these golf carts started showing up, and I have nothing against people that rent the golf carts or anything like that, it's just not my thing to go out there and have to deal with the golf carts and stuff like that, because a lot of people can't drive cars, so you can imagine how they are in golf carts, and I just don't want to deal with it. So I'd prefer to go to the National Seashore, or I'll come down here if it's not too busy. All right, let's head to number 5. You just can't beat it, guys. Listen to some old 80s rock and roll. I think Poison's on right now. And just cruising the National Seashore, looking for the birds hitting the water. All right, guys. We're at the number, I think 4 or 5. This is Padre Island National Seashore. And usually the first 5 miles, you don't need a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Some days you will, some days you won't. It just all depends. But as you can see the sign right there, warning you that if you go any further, it's 4-wheel drive, high clearance vehicles only, because it's expensive to get towed out of here if something should go wrong. So I have seen 2-wheel vehicles go all the way down to the 20 on a good day. And I would say today's a pretty good day, the first 5 miles. So this area right here, right directly in front of the 5 marker on the beach, is a really, really good spot. And there's another sea nettle right there. Look at that, guys. There's another one over there. So there's a lot of jellyfish out here. But anyways, right here, directly in front of the sign, just look at the sign and park right in front of it. This area right here, you can see where it rounds out right here. Now, it's not always like this every day because conditions change. Storm comes in, we'll change this whole area. But this is a really good spot if you don't have 4-wheel drive and you want to fish the National Seashore. I prefer right here at the 5 mile marker, right near it, than anywhere up there. But really, down there is where I really prefer to fish. But anyways, 5 mile marker on Padre Island National Seashore. You go over the JFK Causeway and just keep going straight until it dead ends right into the park. Now, if you don't have a pass, it's going to cost you, I think, $7 to $10 to get in for a day. If you come down here a lot, you might want to buy the yearly pass for like 48 bucks or something like that. I've caught large whiting, pompano, redfish, trout. There was one time when I just steadily catching trout left and right. Every time the spoon hit the water, boom, I was catching one. So you want to have some silver 1 ounce spoon, some gold 1 ounce spoon, maybe a top water like a rooster popper. And then you want to have fish bites, dead shrimp, live shrimp, if you can get them out here live, work really well. And you want to have some mullet. If you can't get any in the surf, then you want to buy some mullet and use some cut bait. It works well. If you catch some whiting, cut it up, throw it back in there, and you may get you a large redfish or something like that. But this is a perfect spot. Marker 5 on Padre Island National Seashore. It's you know, it's a good ways from Corpus. You got to drive 12 miles once you get out on the island. I think it's 12, 14 miles, but it's definitely worth it. This by far is my favorite place to fish in South Texas. It don't matter. Port Aransas doesn't even matter to me anymore. Once you start fishing the National Seashore, you will always come back here and fish the National Seashore every time you come down here. That is how good it is. And you have 55 to 60 miles of beach to find and locate the fish. Now, I'm going to be offering a guide service in the middle of October. I'm actually working on it, and the website and all that stuff. And you will get to ride in the 4-door Jeep, and I will take you down, if need be, all the way down to Port Mansfield to find the fish and locate some good fish. So I will have all those prices up and everything. Hopefully, I maybe end up putting the packages on Patreon, where if you join as a free member, you can order from there until I get the website done. But anyway, guys, Padre Island National Seashore is where it is, man. You will catch so many fish out here. You will catch more fish out here than you will in Port Aransas along any of the beaches there. I believe that. Now, there's certain things out here. The water is usually clearer out here, which it is from when I was just in Port Aransas. I would give this about a 7 out here right now where I'm at the 5. It's usually a little bit clearer, if not a lot clearer, than what it is in Port Aransas and all the way down to Fish Pass. Even Newport Pass and stuff like that doesn't compare to Padre Island National Seashore. So again, always bring you some fish bites, and always have you one rod, an 8-footer or a 7.8 or something with a silver spoon or a gold spoon. Have that ready at all times, because when you're driving down this beach, these birds can be hitting the water, and you only have a short period of time before that bait moves up or that bait moves down. So you're going to have to pack up and follow the bait. So always carry you one rod at least with a spoon on it, or a top water, whichever you prefer. I prefer spoons because I could throw the spoon a lot further. Sometimes you have to wade out there waist deep to get to where the fish are, and a spoon will go a lot further than a top water unless it's a really heavy duty top water. It weighs a lot. But anyways, let's go on down the beach and I'll show you the last 2 places where I think are the best surf fishing spots in South Texas.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Well, I'm a West Coast strutting. One bad mother got a rattlesnake suitcase under my arms. I'm a lean machine drinking gasoline, saying you can make my motor run.
You guys know what song that's from? Post it down in the comments if you know who sings it and what the name of the song is. That's what happens when you drive down the National Seashore listening to Hair Nation on satellite radio. So here we go. Anybody guess where I'm at right here? Look at that big entrance right there. That's a fish gold mine over there. If you got a four-wheel drive and you're willing to risk some of the toughest driving on this beach, then I suggest you go back there and catch you some trout with a popping cork and some live shrimp. So we're at the 15 marker on the National Seashore. You can see it way, way over there. And the reason why this is usually a good spot is because you not only have the surf, the fish, where you could catch whiting, redfish, trout, jack crevalle, blacktip sharks, Atlantic sharpnose. You can catch all kinds of species of fish right here. And if you're lucky, you'll catch some of them nasty puffer fish. Then if things ain't biting in the Gulf of Mexico, you can go right down that road right there and catch you some big trout and some big redfish. So this is why this is my favorite spot. Now, I haven't mustered up the you know whaties to actually venture through there. But let me tell you guys, one day I'm just gonna say, oh, heck with it, and I'm just gonna go through there and maybe catch some fish. But anyways, beautiful day out here, hardly nobody out here. Almost October, can't ask for a better day. Sir, oh, I just seen a big old mullet jump out of the water out there. So it looks like maybe there's some mullet moving, but it looks like they're out there about between the first and second gut. But you can see how this water kind of rounds out right here and comes up right here. Now, it don't always do this, but there's a good sign right there, and the mullet jumping is a really good sign. Pelicans, lazy pelicans, they ain't doing their job because I have not seen one pelican or one bird hitting the water the whole 15 miles down there. I'm going to narrate the other spots because I don't want to get stuck when the tide's coming in and have to drive up next to the dunes. So when you go down here, once you leave the 15, keep going. You will need four-wheel drive in this area. On a good day, I've seen it where you don't need four-wheel drive at all the way down to the 20 and even down to the 30. Today, I would say you probably need four-wheel drive because there's a couple spots that you're forced to go into because people are camping right in the middle of the beach. So you have to go around the back side of them and you're gonna be in deep sand. So that's the only issue. If they weren't there, you could make it all the way down to the 15, probably in a two-wheel drive vehicle today. But so always expect that when you come out here that some knucklehead could be camping right in the middle of the beach and it's gonna force you to go behind them. You never want to go in front of them. You're going to have to go behind them and you're going to have to go into deeper sand. Now, I understand tides come in and stuff like that, but when you camp, you should camp right up against the dunes. That's common courtesy out here. Lazy pelicans, when you go to do your job, start hitting the water, do your job. Like they're really going to answer me, but I do see some birds hitting down there. So that's about the 16 marker. There you go. All right, goodbye guys. They're just gonna fly over where I was. Anyways, 15-mile marker, good spot because you have access to Yarborough Pass. And so when you go further down the beach, you're gonna get to the 20, you're gonna get the little shell and the big shell. And they say that the currents collide there. That's what throws all the shells up, which makes it an excellent place to fish. So between the 20 and 30 mile marker is my next spot. I would go down there if the tide wasn't gonna be coming in soon. And I'll show you some footage right here of it. And it's a really good spot. Now you gotta be real careful if you're wade fishing because the currents are a little bit rougher down there and they will pull the sand out from underneath your feet. So be aware of that. Seems to be a lot more rip tides down in that area as well. Now when you get down between the 30 and 40 guys, that's also another good spot too all along there. Just find you a place to park and try your luck. If you don't catch anything within 30 minutes to an hour, move on down the beach. Sooner or later you're going to end up in a spot where you're going to catch some fish. So The last spot that is really, really good is when you get to the end of the beach and you're at Port Mansfield, Jetties. You are going to see some jetties that you could walk out on. You could also there's kind of like a cove area too you could fish. And there's gonna be just a lot of action down there, especially about a block away from those jetties. If you start throwing your spoon there, and a lot of bait tends to be right near the jetties. So if you could drive all the way down to the end, then you might have a really good day that day. But as far as if you're gonna throw lures and spoons, I would just start at the entrance of the beach and just keep going down all the way until you get to the end, or until you catch fish. That's what I do if I'm throwing spoons. And then finally I'll get bored and just throw some rods out and fish from the bank. Out here, you're on your own, man. You're on your own. You know, I rarely ever have people fishing next to me out here, unless it's somebody I know. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure that you check out our Patreon page. I put a lot of reports up there, really good surf reports that are different than the ones I put on YouTube and Facebook. I also do a weekly fishing report that usually gets released in the morning on Thursdays. It'll give you all these areas out here, Port Aransas, you name it, Baffin Bay. It gives you all the information that you need to get out here and catch some fish. I also put daily fishing reports and weekend fishing reports. I also put those up as well. I put one up this morning. So for $3 a month, hey, you can't beat that. Also, we're giving away that Penn Fierce 3 combo next Saturday. So if you haven't signed up for our Patreon page, now's the time to do it. And then just make a post underneath that post, and you're entered. That's all it is. So for $3, if you cancel at the end of the month, but you gotta be a member when I do the drawing, $3, you have a chance to win a $150 setup. And I'm also giving away one free trip a month down Padre Island National Seashore. You don't have to pay for the bait. You don't have to have any rods. All you gotta do is bring your food and drink and meet me at Malachite Beach parking lot, and I bring you down here. So every month I'll be giving one of those for free, and that is for speckled trout members only, not redfish members, but speckled trout. Now the giveaways are for redfish members and speckled trout. So check out our Patreon page. Appreciate you guys watching this video, and hope this has helped you out. Out here, you want to use all types of bait. Also want to mention too, on the guide service, we are going to have internet all the way down here. So you'll be able to call home and whatever, if you want to sit there and surf the internet while your pole's casted out, you'll be able to do that as well. We're having Starlink is what I'm going to have out here while we're out here surf fishing. So you will have internet, you will have phone service, so your wife or your kids or somebody can get a hold of you. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy the view. Hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? You should have already subscribed. But anyway, we'll see you guys next video. Hopefully next weekend I can get out and surf fish. The jet ski, right now it won't start. I guess the battery's died. I should have left the trickle charger on there, but I'm gonna work on that tomorrow, getting that thing started back up. So maybe the following weekend we can get that jet ski out, and maybe the surf will be willing to let me get out, and maybe I can catch some fish. Peace, guys. See you next video.
I know sometimes life can be tough, and you feel like you just had enough. When you're thinking everything is gone wrong, just remember that I'm here to cheer.